I believe network marketing is the best business model because of my own personal success. I went to college, but I don't have a degree. And by most standards, I should be in a category of income or a category of success that most people would say should be average. Network marketing is what I call the equalizer, or the economy equalizer, or the opportunity equalizer. No matter what your background is, no matter what type of success you've ever had, you can get involved in network marketing and you can build yourself a strong future. The other part of it is the mentorship. The business coaching that I've received in the industry of network marketing is you can't put a price tag on it. I can tell you that you can put a price tag on the formal education that I did receive. And we all know what formal education gets. Formal education, in my opinion, will get you a job. But self-education and emotional education can actually set you free. And so most people, I believe, have an intrinsic desire to really experience freedom. And they just don't know how to do it. Network marketing not only gives you the vehicle, but it also gives you the coaches. It gives you the environment in order to go out and achieve that freedom. You know, when I was first introduced to the world of coffee and network marketing, that was the first thing that the gentleman said to me, that he found what he believed was the greatest product ever designed for networking. Now, obviously, I was aware of coffee. I wasn't a coffee drinker. And so I didn't really understand. But why is coffee so important, and why is it the best product? Because network marketing is really and truly about consumption. It's about building a customer base and having them to consume a product. Well, wouldn't you want to have a product that people habitually consume 3 to 5 times a day without you having to remind them? You know, being in this industry for now 23 years, I've seen and probably sold most products as provided. And most of the products that are sold are not consumed on a habitual basis. You have to remind yourself. And what happens is when you have to remind yourself, you forget, and that means that residual income is never achieved. I believe coffee and network marketing mix will create the greatest residual incomes as long as the leadership and the systems are there to lead the people. And that's why I believe coffee is so great. The free sample model, it works. When you look at companies like America Online, they built their business model sending out little CDs. They were free. Every week you probably receive one in the mail. And they built one of the largest online internet service providing companies in the world, giving away a free sample. If your product works, if your product does exactly what it said that it's going to do, why not give it away for free? Why charge someone for it? But if it works, people will come back and they buy more, and they want more, and they want more. And so the free sample model was a way for us to test whether people legitimately wanted our product. And so far, it looks like they do. My greatest achievement personally has been freedom for myself, my wife, my family, the example, the person that I've actually become as a result of the success. You know, in the very beginning, it's about money. And some people are embarrassed to say it, but it is. It was about money for me. Now, it's not. It's now about searching for significance. One of my greatest business achievements outside of myself and my family are the people who've actually become successful and experienced freedom as a result of some of the things that I've learned and some of the things that I've just had a small role in being able to teach them. You know, they went out and did the work. They were the ones who had to grow personally. They were the ones who had to follow the example. But when I see that the decision that I made to become successful in business has impacted so many people, for me, that's the greatest achievement. You know, in business, I don't look at it as having competitors. In the industry, in the space of network marketing, I consider myself to be an ambassador for this industry. And I wish all companies success. And the reason being is because I've been able to build my belief because I heard somebody else who was not even in my company, and I heard about their success story. And so I believe that if success happens somewhere else in another company, there's somebody out there who's going to hear about their success that may not join their business, but you know what? They'll end up at one of my presentations or somebody else who's a part of our organization. And the reason that they'll join us is because of what they heard maybe 2 or 3 or 4 years ago. And so we need every company out there who's going to do it and do it the right way. We need them to be successful. We need them to grow. We need them to create those success stories. And I don't believe that just because a person didn't take my path doesn't mean that they got lost. And so I just don't consider any of them to be competitors. And I don't say that in an egotistical way. I just believe that we're all in the same business and we all have the same goals. It's interesting that you bring up balance between family and work. There really is no balance in the beginning. There isn't. And I see people all the time who say, well, you've got to be balanced. You got to remember you've got a family, you've got a son, and work's not all that important, and success or money is not all that important. And, I want to be candid with you. It's very, very difficult to achieve something great and to become great without being out of balance for a very short period of time. What I have found is that those who've tried to maintain that balance from the very beginning, they always have to make a sacrifice, and they'll make that sacrifice through their entire life. What I've experienced is making sure that I go out and do exactly what I need to do and be out of balance for a short period of time so that I can have balance for the rest of my life. And that's exactly the way that I live my life. I sat down with my wife and I sat down with my son, and I told them that for the first 6 months, I may not be the best dad or the best husband that you've ever had because I may not be around as much. I may not be able to go to all of your games or even coach you this year. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put every ounce of what I have into developing a future for us. And what I did is I asked them for a trade-off. I said, because of what you're going to be losing in terms of time, what is it that you want as a result of losing that relationship for 6 months? And he told me. And what it was for me, it was motivation. The times that I was home and really didn't have anything to do, my son would come in and say, Daddy, don't you have something to do? And so they bought into it. And because we were able to do that, now we travel the entire world together. We go to exotic places together. We do things as a family without any limitations whatsoever. And so now if I want to have balance, I can actually now afford balance for the rest of my life. When I look back on the person that I used to be, it's a drastic change, as well as it should be. I didn't think the way that I think now. I didn't have as positive of a attitude as I have now. When I think back, I used to think that I knew it all. And it seems like the more experience that I get, the less that I really realize that I know. But the other thing that I understand about change is that it's constant and that I anticipate change. The person that I am today, I can tell you for the goals that I have, I can't remain this person to achieve those big goals that I have. I've got to change. I've got to become a different person. I've got to become that type of person who deserves those things that I want. And so change is just inevitable. I hear the term business ethics and ethics in business. And, I read a book also by John Maxwell who said that there's no such thing as business ethics. And that's my philosophy. It's just ethics. Integrity is something that's about being whole. It's about being true to who you are, about being true to a specific philosophy. And I've realized in business that there's no shortcuts whatsoever. And if you're going to do it, just do it right. You treat people the way they want to be treated, and deliver all the service that you're paid for. As a matter of fact, Napoleon Hill has a philosophy talking about the extra mile. My philosophy is that you should render more service than for what you're actually being paid. And staying true to your word, doing what you say you're going to do it's a simple philosophy. It's difficult for a lot of people to do, but under promise and over deliver in everything that you do. And for me, that's what integrity is about. That's what having ethics is all about as well. The components of a great leader is first of all courage, integrity, example, work ethic, someone who's willing to be out front, someone who's willing to take total responsibility, not only partial, but total responsibility. Those are all traits of what I believe a great leader is comprised of. And you've got to be willing to go out and set the example. I enjoy being a mentor because I see what it's done for me. I've never had the person that I could personally talk to or personally work with who personally mentored me on a one-on-one basis. And because of that absence in my life, it's been, I believe, my biggest strength. I've had to go find the information. I've had to align myself with other mentors and leaders at a distance. I've had to read their books. I've had to listen to their tapes. I've had to attend their seminars without even having a chance to shake their hand. But I knew the information was very important to my success. And now being able to give what I never had is, for me, it's very gratifying to be able to work with people who have the same dreams and goals that I had, and now being able to fill that void and of information that I didn't think of it. So I don't take the credit for it, but I got the information, and I believe it's my responsibility to pass it on. I believe there's no success without successors. And so people have to come behind you with your philosophy in order to have ultimate success. You know, when I was growing up in the projects, I never imagined that I'd be running a large global $100+ million corporation. But I knew for a fact that I was going to be extremely successful. And that's where it comes back to belief. It's not a surprise to me. It's not, I woke up one day and I'm pinching myself. These are things that I've always believed. These are things that I've always said to myself. You know, my mother, she used to always tell me that this mole that I have on my hand, it was designed for one purpose. And she used to tell me that ever since I've been 5 years old. She says, one day you're going to be a successful business person. And so I believed it. And she used to also tell me, she said, son, listen, God put you on earth for two reasons: to be a leader and a provider. And every time I would get in trouble, and every time I'd do something bad, instead of always getting a spanking, and I got my share of spankings, it was always reinforced with, you shouldn't do that. Remember, you're here to be a leader and a provider. And so that affirmation, it just stuck with me. And so when I became an adult, it was so ingrained in my subconscious that I had to act out what she had programmed me with. And so that's why I certainly believe that if you believe things and if you repeat them over and over, you can achieve. You know, the future is extremely bright. I believe I'm going to live till I'm 150. So I've got a long time. I've got a lot of things that I'm going to accomplish. One of my definiteness of purpose before I leave here was to positively impact the lives of over 100 million people from a spiritual, financial, and personal basis. And everything that I do, every opportunity that I take, take a hold of, that's really designed my life. And so there's a lot of work to be done, because I don't believe I've reached 100 million just yet. And should I reach 100 million sooner, then I'll reset that goal and, maybe to 1 billion. But there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. The significance of becoming a millionaire is not necessarily the money. It's not the material things. It's not the homes. It's not the cars or jewelry or vacations. It's the person that you become in the process. And I certainly believe that when you do become a millionaire, that people all over the world, or nationally or regionally, lives should have been affected in a positive way as a result of you becoming a millionaire. And when you impact people that way, I believe the universe will come back and reward you for becoming a millionaire.